Greetings, Light Tribe. Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silver Moon. Okay, so I feel inspired to do a video today, and I typically don't like to get involved in politics because I don't like the whole side-taking circus situation where perhaps darkness is trying whatever people want to perceive things to be, but let's just say that darkness likes to get people to take sides and be fighting against each other. It's a big distraction, and especially maybe stops them from ascending on their path. So that's just a perspective. So a friend of mine posted something that Marianne Williamson, who is a beautifully enlightened spiritual teacher, beautiful energy on this planet, that she's thinking of running for president. I thought, well, that's refreshing, because wouldn't it be nice to have something of a higher vibrational level in higher places? Yeah. So people are talking, and one wise friend said, oh, I would hate to see her get chewed up in the political arena. Okay, yeah. And then the other one said, you know, maybe her gifts would be better utilized in different ways elsewhere. I say, yeah. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I was talking to a marketing person yesterday about publishing things, and she had mentioned the Me Too movement. And so today it just kind of popped into my head where, and I've been learning this about things that appear to be bad, direct us to something good. Okay. And that I learned that I've been learning that on my path for many years now, since my house burned down in 2007. After that, I started like awakening to things. So what if I don't want to mention names here either. It's not necessary. What if he, by what he did or didn't do, however we perceive it, and however much truth is there or not there, which we don't really know. But let's just say, and I don't keep up with that stuff anyway, so, you know, I'm not speaking from claiming to be terribly knowledgeable about this, but I'm just making a point here. What if what he did or didn't do caused people, so many people, to be able to find their voice and speak their truth when they weren't before? When something was holding them back for some reason, they wouldn't or couldn't, or thought they shouldn't. Okay, speak up. So the way we perceive something is good or bad or right or wrong, and whether it was blown out of proportion or not, whether it was completely true or not, I don't know. But let's just say that that thing that we perceive to be bad, and people glommed onto it, attacked it, blah, 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 or whatever, but let's just say that thing that seemed to be bad caused people to say, you know what, now's the time I'm going to speak up. It prompted them or inspired them in such a way to be able to speak up and speak their truth finally. That's a good thing. So now, what if we looked at the fact that, yay, people are empowered and they're healing by speaking their truth, and they're speaking up and they're saying certain things aren't okay? Then maybe we don't have to point the finger and blame and, you know, hatred and anger and being mad at something, but let's look at the positive stuff, because light is being shined into the darkness now with all this. So let's look at what's happening and what's unfolding and what's coming out of the boxes and the caves and the hiding places and the wounds, and how people are being cracked open, and how empowering that is for them to speak their truth. So that's a good thing. So let's look at the positive part instead. Let's not just keep focusing on the negative. Let's have the awareness of it and make our own decisions, and, you know, what we would or wouldn't do, what we're going to accept, and how we walk our own path. Now, I know that some people will, okay, and then somebody else was saying how, oh, because of the T word, okay, that it's inciting all of this hatred all over the nation. Really? That's what I want to talk about. Okay. So remember, when we blame, we just totally give our power away. When we want to blame someone else for something, we're giving our power to that thing. Okay. So is it true that he is totally in control, in charge of people, and trying to make people be haters and hate him and everybody else and each other? I don't think so. And so if he is the catalyst that's to get people to come out of their shell, yay. Okay. So, but some people think that, oh, all this hatred's happening in the United States and it's because of Mr. T. No. So, the only thing that we can control and are in charge of is our own reaction to something. So if people are in an element or whatever, a reaction of hatred, is that stuff in themselves that's coming out now? Things that are being reflected within? Some people aren't reacting that way, okay? Some people that don't even take sides maybe they've risen above, they've ascended to such a level that they don't have to get pulled into that dog and pony show of taking sides and bashing each other and spewing hatred. I mean, I don't know. But all I'm saying is that if people react reflective of what's within them, unless they're joining a group think, jumping on the bandwagon. Now, people who come out and say, okay, this happened or that happened. And so there's two things that are happening here. Some people want money and attention, and some people blow things out of proportion. So that could be happening. Okay. And probably is to some degree. And then there's the people who actually were harmed, in ways that rocked their world and changed their lives and created huge wounds that they may not really have spoken about. Okay, so the fact that they're now speaking up is hugely healing. Okay, but people who have other issues going on that they are reacting in hatred to, I don't think we can blame our behavior, our patterns, our habits, our wounds, healed or our unhealed wounds, whatever they are, our issues, programming, conditioning, ideologies, mindsets, ego. Really? So is everyone going to blame that on one person and just keep giving their power away? I mean, I don't even know how to try to say what I'm trying to say, only that people are saying, oh, the hatred in the United States is way up because of a person. So it's that person's fault that everyone's in hatred, that everyone's joining this taking sides is egoic. My side's right and your side's wrong. Ego in charge. Ego's a servant, shouldn't be in the president's chair. So everybody's a hater now. Not everyone, thankfully, but let's just say there's a lot of haters now, and they want to blame a person or a political side or a race or an ideology or whatever, a religion. Whatever it is, they want to blame something else because they haven't done their own work to ascend. Because maybe there's stuff in themselves they haven't healed yet, and maybe they're not ready. So it's easier to just become a hater and, spew that out in certain ways, but you're still not addressing the situation. Okay? That your conscious mind might not even know what the root of the problem is, but your subconscious mind does. But you have to become aware and awake enough to want to do the work for your own healing and your own ascension. And so when I hear stuff like, oh, there's all this hatred in the US because of one person, I call bullshit foul. Really? I don't think so. People can choose to be haters, or they can choose to rise above. People can choose to be pissed off and angry and entitled, or they can choose to move beyond and rise above. And there's a saying that I use a lot, and I call it moving beyond belief and into knowing. Okay, so when are people going to take responsibility for what they believe and what kind of energy they want to be in? And by the way, when you exist in that energy, eventually it causes dis-ease. Okay, eventually it makes people sick when they can't let go of resentment and hatred and anger and grief and blame and all of this stuff that's lower vibrational, keeps you shackled and stuck in your own self-created hell while you sit there pointing the finger and blame and thinking it's somebody else's fault because you're not taking responsibility to open the door to your own freaking cell and walk the hell out. Take your power back. Oh my God, if I could say something and people would listen without being disrespectful, I'd say stop being a hater. Okay? Stop giving your power away to illusion, because what you see is only a perspective of a thing. It's only a side of a thing. You do not have pure knowledge of it or anything else. So when you're reacting to part of the puzzle. You're reacting to a piece of the puzzle that pisses you off, but you don't know the rest of it. Some people take the responsibility to learn, and some people become extremely wise and they don't react, and that is amazing. So this is just to talk about when, people want to watch the news, which is fear-mongering. By the way, hello, cut the shackles. Let's watch the news feed, and let's watch, either the this news channel, which leans towards this way, or this channel that leans towards this way, because that's our group, because we think that's our people. Because we don't know everything, but we don't know everything. You know what I mean? So, oh, well, all this hatred's going on in the United States. Yeah, because the light's being shined in the darkness because it's time to purge that shit, people. Okay? So what if we did our own healing and we let go of all that nasty? What are you gonna do with it? Where are you gonna put it? Maybe build yourself a little fire, light a candle, put it in there. Okay? Maybe be forgiving and notice how powerful you become in your life. Okay? Maybe shut off your TV for a while and stop watching those hideous news channels. It's almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing. I can't even take it. I can't stand it. I don't have time for that in my space because it's nasty, it's toxic, it's lower vibrational. No thanks. For me. So all I'm saying is, oh yeah, there's a lot of hatred going on. That's because the light's being shined in the darkness and we're being invited to heal ourselves, people. Okay, but we can't do that when we blame other people and think someone else is at fault and think we're a freaking victim. Victim mentality is like the lowest there is. So when you're a hater and you're bashing people and shunning and taking sides and putting nasty hatred shit out on Facebook, you know, you're not looking in the mirror, people, when that's happening. Nope. And you might not realize you're in your own little cell. So if there's hatred going on, it's because people haven't done the work or because they've joined groups that are hatred-based, okay? You can choose not to come from a place of hatred. It's all free will choice. And when you don't come from a place of hatred, guess what? You're in charge, okay? You're in power. You're in control of your reaction. And that action doesn't have to be reaction, doesn't have to be hatred. That's a choice. That's a choice. And when you're not blaming someone, oh my God, watch your world change. Peace.